Hi. So today I want to talk a little bit about art. Um, More specifically, I want to talk about something that happened recently and the wider implications in terms of stifling creative expression. I was pitching a simple one-sentence logline on social media to attract professional publishing attention. And what happened next was incredible, not in a good way. My pitch was attacked by an online mob that objected to my use of the term fact. The mob was incensed that my character was not thrilled at the prospect of reaching 300 pounds. The mob felt my character should feel great about it, should celebrate it. No. My fictional character that I created does not feel great about tossing her health away like a cigarette butt. In fact, her very life is at stake. She suffers from and worries about some of the following, as listed by the Mayo Clinic: high triglycerides and low HDL cholesterol, possible type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, which is a combo of high blood pressure, high blood sugar, etc., heightened possibility for heart disease, stroke, cancer, breathing disorders, including sleep apnea, gynecological problems, infertility, irregular periods, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, osteoarthritis. Oh, and she's on the verge of a gastric ulcer. By her own admission and her own choices, her quality of life has plummeted. The outrage mob was unmoved that my fictional character's own actions had anything to do with her current condition, and instead blamed, and I kid you not, systemic and systematic oppression of fat people. So, systemic oppression here is replacing the need for self-reflection, self-actualization. Personal responsibility is to be railed against. It's to be tossed into the abyss like a hunk of kryptonite. But here's the thing. My character's freedom depends on taking personal responsibility. It's her exit route. It's her literal escape path. Taking responsibility for her own decisions is her golden ticket out of the quagmire. But most importantly, my character is my creation, dredged up from the depths of my very own soul, dredged up from addictions that I know something about, experience that I am well acquainted with. Still, the online outrage mob suggested that my book should never ever see the light of day. Why? It was not sensitive. They gathered that in one sentence, without ever having read the book, not even a paragraph. So let's talk about that word, sensitivity. The outrage mob, acting as an enraged unit, a hive mind, was not interested in deeper conversation or respectful discussion about my fictional character and her own perspective about her own life. No. The mob seemed to morph in size and discernible glee at the thought of silencing, squashing, quashing the story in question. My story, my character. They did not believe that my fictional character deserved to exist in her fictional world. Why? Because of her point of view. The very one that might actually save her life. My character's point of view did not line up with their ideology. Their ideology about the world. One, I might add, that is a little inconsistent, a few plot holes here and there. So, while viciously denouncing my lack of sensitivity, they reveled in their attack on me, swarming in numbers and vitriol like a whacked hornet's nest, going in for the kill with sanctimonious joy and stinging cruelty. Virtual high fives abounded at the thought of silencing someone's creative expression. For them, a surefire cause for victory. They could leave the keyboard with a sense of power. Power that did not come from their efforts, but at vanquishing other people's efforts. The online outrage mob said they were speaking for an entire group of overweight people, including my fictional character. They were the self-appointed spokesmob. Yet to me, they were not so much concerned with obese people as they were with upholding their capital N narrative. The narrative that suggests no one has personal agency and everyone is being oppressed by the system. In fact, they even suggested that morbid obesity was just as healthy, if not more, than a normal weight. Well, at least they articulated the antithesis of my story and my character. My heroine survives by finally tossing the victim narrative. The point of this character is to find her way free of the enablers. Indeed, it is the enablers that are slowly killing her as they champion her delusions. Her enablers don't have to live the consequences of her choices. No, they will pretend to care as they perform their virtue and feel so superior while doing so. But my character is not weak. She does not blame others. She is not fragile. She understands that she alone brought herself to the brink. No one else. And the good news is she can undo it. She has within herself the power to make different choices. And that's what she does across the wide character arc of the story. And like my character, I never blame government or invisible forces for the extra Pepsi that I guzzled or that second bag of Twizzlers that was an absolute must-have. I do not write fiction to push ideology, especially ideology that won't last the test of time. I write to satiate my imagination, to unearth inner struggles, and in so doing, I hope to express a kernel of truth, a flash of insight about human nature, something, someone, somewhere can relate to. Not all of you, but some. I don't make art for propaganda purposes. But at the best of times, I make it to be enjoyed as a literary roller coaster or an exploration of interior designs. And a basic truth continues to hold true. If you don't like the perspective of a fictional character, don't read the book. The mob, broken down into individuals, is free to write their own ideas, such as they are. But the mob doesn't get to squash ideas it doesn't like. That's not how art works. That's not how the public square works. Gaggles of squawking bullies who have never even read the work in question believe that they can erase the narratives they dislike. Any narrative that champions the individual's power to take responsibility and overcome self-inflicted obstacles. Indeed, it seems the anti-bullies are the biggest bullies on the block. Such cult-like behavior is the opposite of creative expression. It's the opposite of fiction. It's the opposite of freedom itself. It is also the farthest thing from both kindness and curiosity. And the novel in question that I wrote was originally written as a diary, a journal of private musings. It then morphed into an action-oriented cat and mouse. And the main character, yes, she's self-deprecating, she's witty, she's a fighter. And after doctors' warnings, she's ferociously determined to change her habits and her life's trajectory. In other words, she refuses to remain stuck. She refuses to remain powerless by blaming. She no longer takes comfort in her enablers or their false flattery. Instead, she knows she must remove herself from those who sanction her self-destruction. Taking comfort in sugar-coated untruths will end her. The novel explores food addictions and how, like other addictions, it is covering something else, something deeper, something worth digging for and uprooting. And indeed, my character has a plan to lose weight, a scary one, a terrifying one, an entertaining one, a thrilling one. There's even a psychopath. And one who does indeed hurt feelings, just as psychopaths are known to do. And she has to outrun, outswim, outmaneuver all of her inner demons and a literal demon. Not an easy task for a woman who's imprisoned herself with the fleshy deposits of endless excuses. Well, if this tale does not get past the gatekeepers, fret not. It will make its way to readers one way or the other. Every story makes its way to the ones meant to receive it. And I'm sure many of you know that already. So please subscribe to my channel. I'll keep you posted on all of the subsequent and creative happenings. In the meantime, stay courageous, people. Trust your gut.